Hi everyone, I'm GREYMOND. I'm an OCD recovery coach with more than 10 years of experience helping people recover from OCD. Prior to that, I had severe OCD myself that I fully recovered from, and as do my clients. So if you wonder, can you fully recover from OCD? Absolutely, yes, you can. Now let's talk about OCD content. No matter what type of thoughts you are having, you have to understand that people with OCD, generally speaking, have a very high intelligence. They're very analytical, they can figure things out easily. So, how can you trick that type of person into believing the thoughts, into taking the thoughts seriously? Well, the brain does it by making it feel very real, and also by tailoring the content specifically to you. What hits you to your core? So, the scarier the thought, the more of a reaction the brain is going to get out of you, the more reassurance, the more compulsions. And it's viewing that as a safety mechanism to protect the organism. If you are doing some sort of protective action, that means you are protecting yourself in this, what brain views it as a life or death situation. So the fact that it feels very real, the fact that it's bothering you and you feel like this is the worst possible thought I could have, that is OCD classic. View it as this is content I'm disregarding. Don't look at it as this is my HOCD, this is my ROCD, this is my harm OCD content. No, this is just content because OCD can switch from theme to theme, situation to situation. And when you start to kind of even arrange it into boxes of, well, this is my HOCD, well, this is my ROCD, you're already getting into the content. You're already feeding OCD more. And then you get into this, but what if I never recover? Some person online said I couldn't recover, so if they can't, then maybe I can't. Then that's OCD about OCD. So, and this is why people who don't understand this kind of go from theme to theme back and forth over their lifetime, right? If you just view everything across the board as it's content. If it's bothering me, it's content. I'm not doing this. I'm not ruminating. I'm not seeking reassurance. I'm not Googling. it's content. And just take it that way. Then OCD has nothing else to throw at you because whatever it throws at you, you're like disregarding continuously throughout the day. And this is where tracking comes up, where you do have to be accountable. You do have to have real numbers. I mean, and they don't have to be perfect. We don't want to create perfectionism issue here. But you do have to have an idea of how many minutes you ruminated in 3 hour period, because how else will you gauge your progress? If you don't understand how much you ruminated or how many compulsions have you done, how will you be able to reduce it the next day? Just eyeballing is very difficult, especially when you get towards the middle and to end stages where there's not that much left. In the beginning, there's so much to do, so doing anything kind of is better than nothing. But at the same time, especially with physical compulsion and with rumination as well, actually, you can reduce in one area and not realize you actually increased compulsions or increased rumination in some other area, because OCD is very sneaky. But if you have this tracking, reducing, and again, this is my personal method, and I'm telling you, it evolved over time. This method happened because of working with clients and seeing what works and seeing what doesn't. So over time, we started to see that yes, accountability is so monumentally important. I give this example a lot because it illustrates the point. Let's say you are in the worst possible situation in your OCD, and let's say 180 out of 180, meaning that in 3 hours you ruminate the entire 3 hours. Okay, that's your baseline. That's your starting point. Okay, tomorrow can you do 10 minutes less each 3 hours? 10 minutes less. Can't do 10? Do 5. Okay, do 5. And if you just continue like this, so let's say you go by 10 minutes. 180 minutes, which means in 18 days, you'll get down to 0. And I have many clients who have actually done that. Now, let's say you're not going to have perfect recovery, because perfect recovery process does not exist. There's always setbacks here and there. So, okay, so let's say not 18 days. Let's say 25 days. Let's say 30 days. 30 days to get out of the hell that you are in right now. If you just buckle down and push through, and again, look at everything across the board as content. Not HOCD, not ROCD, not OCD about OCD, but this is my content. How many minutes in 3 hours did I engage in this content? And I'm going to be accountable, and this is what I do with clients is another thing we often talk about with clients is your rumination minutes need to match your level of anxiety in terms of the level. So, for example, if you are ruminating 5 minutes a day, or sorry, 5 minutes a 3 hour period, let's say. So almost nothing, almost like under an hour a day, let's say. Your anxiety should be very, very low throughout the day. If you are ruminating all the time, the entire 3 hours, of course, your anxiety is going to be through the roof. So the level of anxiety follows what you are doing, not necessarily in the same day. So say you were ruminating a lot, then you stopped, and the second that you stopped, your anxiety is not going to instantly drop. There is residual. It's going to take a little bit of time, right? Maybe like, I'd say maybe like a week or two, right? To kind of bring it down if you were really in a bad state, right? Maybe like a week. And again, this is from working with people. This is what I see. If you really kind of focus and really kind of cut it off and bring it down, I mean, if you bring it down gradually, it'll be longer. But your anxiety will follow what you are doing. So if you are in the situation where you're tracking rumination time and your tracking is like 5 minutes, 10 minutes per time period, but your anxiety is really, really bad, that means there's something that you are not viewing as content that is content. You're feeding it somewhere where you're not realizing you're feeding it. Could be compulsions, could be avoidances, could be rumination, could be checking, asking. You're doing something to keep it alive that you're not accountable for, because the numbers will correlate with the anxiety. So this is just kind of like a little pro tip. I hope you find my videos helpful. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you would like to do one-on-one recovery program with me, all the information is on youhaveocd.com. You can sign up and we can start pretty much right away. Thank you. Have a good day.